Hello my fellow friends and followers, it's me again, Retromania, and in today's video we are discussing which PlayStation 3 games to buy before prices skyrocket. Obviously this is just speculation, not a given, but still, I think some games in today's video will definitely have a price increase. With this out of the way, let's jump into my pickups you should consider in 2022-2023. The first game I picked, it's Xillia It's Dead. Being a niche game what sold less than other games from this generation, it's a huge reason why, but even besides that, this game has a lot, and when I say a lot, I mean a lot of potential to increase in value. One of the writers for Xillia It's Dead, it's Goichi Suda, and he's a really famous figure in the video game industry. Suda worked on the No More Hero games, and those games tend to increase in value. On top of that, Xillia It's Dead, it's a really similar game to No More Heroes. The gameplay, the art style and everything feels similar, so I think it has a lot of potential. So I definitely recommend to getting Xillia It's Dead. Next we have Little Big Planet 1, 2 and 3. Why I choose those popular games in particular? Well, can you play Little Big Planet 1, 2 and 3 on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5? I mean, sure, maybe you can with the Sony emulator and Sony Cloud streaming service, but it really isn't the same. The only accessible Little Big Planet game right now, it's Little Big Planet 3 on PlayStation 4. But funny enough, the PlayStation 3 version of the same game, it's more rare and more expensive. Also, a big reason why I think those games will go up in price is because I don't see Sony making a remake or a remaster of those games. Because porting PlayStation 3 games it's extremely difficult, and because PlayStation 3 has this really complex, unique cell architecture. Next pickup you should definitely make, it's the Devil May Cry HD Trilogy. All PlayStation 3 trilogies have increased in value and they will even more in the future. But there is something special about this trilogy in particular. First of all, it's dirt cheap considering the value of other HD trilogies on the system, what makes no sense to me. It includes all the DMC games you rarely see nowadays, ported, remastered or remade, and I don't expect Capcom to do so. Capcom it's more focused nowadays on games what make them more money. Games like Resident Evil, Monster Hunter, Street Fighters, and they don't really care that much about Devil May Cry or Ace Attorney or Mega Man or whatever. Devil May Cry has a decently sized fanbase. It's not as huge as maybe a Monster Hunter fanbase, a Resident Evil fanbase or a Street Fighter fanbase, but the fanbase is really dedicated to, it's small but dedicated and passionate about the IP Devil May Cry. This collection even includes bonus content how you can see written on the box itself and seeing Dante in HD. It's really nice. And you have also trophies. I really like trophies, so that's also really nice. I think the fact that you get 3 quality games in HD with trophy support and with extra added content, it's a no-brainer to me. The next recommendation are the Naruto Storm games. You probably ask yourself why exactly the Naruto Storm games. Well, have you seen the prices of the old Dragon Ball games? Anime licensed games tend to increase in value, especially good ones, and let me tell you, the Naruto Storm games are amazing. On top of that, future Naruto games will not be about Naruto, but about Boruto. Naruto it's a really big name, really big IP, so this pickup should be a no-brainer. Disgaea 3 should be an obvious pickup. It's the only Disgaea game, but it's still a PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita exclusive. On top of that, it's a really niche, small IP, but has a dedicated fanbase, something like Devil May Cry. On top of all of that, I don't see a remake or a remaster of this game. A re-release of this game, it's most unlikely. Imagine they actually release all those games, re-release them, and I'm looking like a clown here telling you that they will never release those games again, and that will be funny, guys. Yeah. In general, JRPGs have a higher value in the used market compared to other genre to other games. So I highly recommend picking up any JRPG you find, and especially this one because it has over 100 hour long playtime, and maybe some people will see value in this as well. Another JRPG games you should pick up, it's Tales of Xillia 1 and 2. Those are no-brainers in my opinion. Both games are still on PlayStation 3 exclusively, and although there is a really big possibility of a remastered or remake treatment, the fact that those games run exclusively on PlayStation 3 what has the cell architecture, it's a really big red flag. Why do I say red flag? Well, because of the complicated PlayStation 3 cell architecture. Either way, true collectors and true JRPG fans will try get the OG original PlayStation 3 version of those games. I think this is a really solid pickup, and if you can get obviously the day 1 edition or the collector's edition, even better, but if you're on a budget you can also get the normal edition, it's also really good and valuable. The Orange Box, it's another great collection of games, what features most of the iconic Valve titles, like Portal, like Half-Life 2, Half-Life 2 Episode 1, Half-Life 2 Episode 2 and Team Fortress 2. Those games are extremely old, and because I don't see Valve developing more games in the future, I think those older games from Valve will be seen as a holy grail for collectors. You can get those games digitally on PC, but true collectors and true fans of those games, of those IPs, will try get the physical copies. Also, how time goes on and on, really old PC games work worse and worse on newer hardware and newer Windows OS operating systems. After some time you lose compatibility with older games. For example, I tried to run a Windows XP game on my newer system and I ran into multiple problems. Obviously not all games will have problems, some games will run just fine and some will have problems like I had. With consoles you don't really have those type of problems, it's one set of hardware, one box. So yeah guys, if you are shopping, keep this game in mind. The final game in this list, it's Persona 5, and I have it right here. Persona 5 got released on every platform possible, then why do I think this game will rise in value? Well, you see, the PlayStation 3 version in particular of this game, it's quite rare. Because it released on both PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4 in 2017, way after the PlayStation 3 lifespan, most people got the PlayStation 4 version. Remember guys, the PlayStation 4 released in 2013 and this game released in 2017. This is by far one of the last PlayStation 3 games we got physically. You can tell by the missing manual. And let's not forget that Persona 5, it's a banger game to set off the PlayStation 3 legacy. On top of that, it's Persona guys, those games always hold value, even if they are remastered or remade. Anime games and RPG games always hold value, and this one it's no exception. The fact that an English Western copy of that game of Persona 5 on PlayStation 3 costs around $25 to $35 or euro after or before shipping, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous considering how old this game actually is, and considering we got just recently ports of that game of Persona 5 on Nintendo Switch, PC, PlayStation 5 and even Xbox. So yeah, if you find a sweet deal on Persona 5 on PlayStation 3, definitely pick it up. So yeah guys, what do you think about my list? Do you think we will see a price increase on some of those games I listed? Let me know down below. And with this out of the way, I wish you all a wonderful day. Sayonara my good old friends. Ciao.
Who is that high lord?